So, oh, right, should I do that?
Yes, Paul.
Yes,
yeah, we're waiting.
please.
Well, I mean, you might want to let me know.
I did
Well,
3 times. No one listens to me.
We've started at 12 o'clock for the last 30 episodes, Paul. So
Apart from this one.
No talking.
I like Paul.
Right on set. Right on set.
That was worth waiting for, that.
Good afternoon and good morning and good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the EV Cafe. We always ensure there is a double espresso of banter and nonsense thrown into our coffee. The crew never let you down on this, trust me. Which is why I'm proud to announce a new section for today's show, EV Cafe Masterminds, where we will be challenged and probably fail in answering some of your hardest questions. Hence the loud shirt, it's game show vibes for me. The hardest question will actually win one of these lovely EV Cafe mugs. There are no rules other than it needs to be related to decarbonisation. And you have to email me privately with the answers. Otherwise, I'm going to be made of a fool on camera. No change there then. But luckily for Paul, because he actually edits our videos, so he'll be able to edit out any times that he makes, which there'll probably be only 2 minutes of footage left.
Yeah, all 3 questions that I answer correctly.
And JC, John Curtis, will be our mastermind host. So that will be over to him and his word will be final. So I, Johnny Berry, will be joined by 3 other game show contestants and then 2 other game show contestants, which will be Neil and Lorna. And so the 3 game show contestants from the EV Cafe crew, otherwise known as the Avengers, they are Sarah Sloman, Head of Future Mobility Partnerships at Elmtronics, Paul Kirby, the founder of EV Essentials, and last but by no means least, Sam Clark, the Chief Electrification Vehicle Officer from GridServe. Did I get that wrong?
Yeah, you got it wrong. But...
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Honestly.
I didn't do that on purpose, by the way, Sam.
You're so going to pay for that, I'll tell
you. and you already know who I am. I am Johnny Berry, recently appointed as Head of Decarbonisation for Hitachi Capital Vehicle Solutions. We have some sponsors now. How important is that to us?
It's everything, to be really honest, because it allows us to get out and do the things that we do and message people and go and see people and communicate, actually get out and network. So massive thanks to My Energy, because frankly, you were first to step up and say, do you know what? We like what you're doing. My Energy, fabulous place to get charging infrastructure, systems for your home so that you can connect it all together and make fabulous use of renewable energy through to electric vehicles. And Kate Tyrrell has been an absolute legend working with us to help us get where we need to be, which is in your face. And she's good at that, frankly. Next up is Geotab. So we don't just have one sponsor now, we have 2, and we're massively proud of the work that we've managed to achieve with Geotab's support. They came along to the ITT Hub and were just brilliant. And if you want to see the video, it's on our LinkedIn page, and it's just awesome. Great interview. Thank you both so much, because without you, I'd lose the will to live and I couldn't put bread on the table. But I think even more impressive is those individuals who've sponsored us through Patreon. Now, we take a small amount of money each month, which goes into our coffers, helps us to continue to do this. But our Patreons, Roger Atkins, Elmtronics EV Charging, love a bit of Elmtronics, Anil Kumar Mehta from Smart Co-Wheels, Compared Leasing, Stuart Middleton, Neil Durno, and Lorna McAteer are all Patreons. And we are hugely grateful to them, because that's their personal money. It's not company money, it's personal money that they're putting in to the pot. And we really appreciate that. So to all of you, bless you. If you want to become a patron, we have a Patreon link. Kirby, why are you laughing?
Sam apparently pays for his own eyebrows. I mean,
I just saw that. I was like, what's that?
Why is it so eyebrowist today?
Where-
I've
where
been
is-
getting grief for mine as well.
Where did
I
that
mean-
random insult come from, Scott? I just saw it in the corner of my eye. What's that?
You want to tell us all about it, Sam?
It's that personal manicured look that you go for, Sam. I think that must be what it is.
Well, we were at the ITT hub last month. Do you want to tell the audience about that?
Yeah, so ITT Hub, come on. Where do we go? Paul.
Well, I mean, what a time that was, wasn't it? I mean, it was great to actually get out and see people. I mean, you know, we got, I felt like that we were probably some of the most privileged people because we got to talk to so many great people. I mean, you know, there was so many people like the MD of Renault, Carlos Rodriguez. He really brought their electric vision to life, and just kind of meeting and hanging out with people. Wasn't that cool? Who else stood out for you guys?
Really good.
Sam's more worried about his eyebrows.
Well, I just can't believe quite how many people came. We had 4,000 people through the door, even with the difficult to manage COVID restrictions. So a huge shout out to the Farnborough International Centre and also, of course, the ITT Hub team who pulled it all together, kept everyone safe and enabled those discussions to happen. Just goes to show how important live events are to our industry. So grateful to Mark and the team.
The really freaky thing was walking into the hall at the ITT Hub and having people call my name that I've never met, that I don't know, who knew me. And that was really odd. And that doesn't happen a great deal.
Whatever, John, whatever.
Anyway, right, okay.
Sam wants to talk.
Well, you know, try and get a word in today, right, if I can. But I was just going to say thank you, Paul. You're going to have to help me out here at the end of my sentence. But thank you also to the guys from Street Drone and the guys from EAV who brought vehicles with us, and our amazing converted VW electric Beetle as well. The name escapes me of the company. So Paul,
It was Joseph, and gosh, the name of the company. Something technology. Oh damn! I'll have to find it out now.
We'll put it in the link.
But but thank you to all those guys for putting the effort into bringing us vehicles to put on the stand as well. So it's, you know, as well as my energy, it's great to have some real product there and real people and real chat. And John wasn't the only one who got papped either, by the way, just with his head back in his box. But
Sam, see, you're used to being papped. Yeah, to the rest of us, it's all new. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Whatever.
Anyway, should we start the quiz?
Yeah, let's. Right. Okay. So here it is, the quiz, the EV Mastermind quiz. Now, we've had loads of questions sent in by people. Stupidly, I asked for questions. I didn't ask for answers to go with the question. No, I've no bloody idea whether they're right or wrong. But nonetheless, we will give it a go. So here we go. First question. Now,
do we have to get our buzzers?
Hands in the air like you just don't care. And my judgment is final, okay? This is open to everybody, guests and the usual crew, okay?
We'll never win a point.
Oh, stop whining. Okay, right, ready? What is the cheapest used electric vehicle on Autotrader today? Johnny Berry.
I'm Eve.
Incorrect. Sarah was next.
I'm going to go Nissan Leaf.
Wrong. Neil Durno.
It's a Renault Ziggy.
Doesn't count.
Still wrong. Euan.
Renault Fluence.
Wrong.
Oh.
Sam.
Gee whiz.
Gee whiz is the correct answer. So Sam gets 1 point. It is £2,100 today. It's done 45,000 miles and has got an MOT until April 2022.
I agree with Martin, by the way. It's not a real car.
The quadricycle, technically, it's
yes.
All right, then. So in that case, we'll give also a point. Who said Nissan Leaf? Was it Sarah? Sarah said Nissan Leaf. So we'll go with Nissan Leaf at £3,500. Now, here's the thing that's really interesting. It's done 117,000 miles, and it's a 2012 version. So 9 years, 117,000 miles. Do not tell me you can't drive an electric car very far. £3,500. Thank you very much. Have some of that. Check the battery life on it. Go. Neil, you wanted to ask something.
I wanted to tell you that the Renault Twizy that I've got my eye on is 400 quid on eBay.
Oh, eBay. I said Autotrader. You lose a point. You're at -1.
Yeah, you're
Minus
-1.
Come on,
Absolutely.
listen to the question, you donut. Right, okay, next up. Oh, sorry, did I just call one of our patrons a donut? I
I've
did.
used it. I've used it.
That's to go with his coffee.
Right, next up, stand by your beds. There is a point for each name that you can give me for. According to the Zap Map research in 2021, can you top 5 public charging networks in the UK? Sarah.
Electronics. Oh no, just joking. It will be BP Pulse, Instabolt, and Osprey, plus. Well, they're kind of my favourites. Maybe I should say Gridser.
Dear God, 2. Instavolt Osprey is correct. So you get 2 marks.
Thank you.
Paul was next up.
Oh, bugger. No, I
out.
had an Instavolt and Osprey,
You
but
hesitated.
Bugger, I have to take your first answer. Sam.
No one said Tesla.
Tesla is number 1. Well
Of course
done.
it is, and it will be
Yeah.
grid serve next year. Just saying.
Yeah, but it's not. Euan.
In order, first to fifth, I think they were Tesla, Instavolt, Osprey, Swarco eConnect, and PodPoint, or it might have been the other way around.
You have all of them. Wrong way round though. Swarco
not
eConnect
good
was
enough.
5th.
Yeah.
Podpoint was 4th. Osprey, Instavolt, and Tesla were number 1.
And I already said 2.
he
Please,
gets 2 points.
You get 2
Just saying.
points, Euan.
Anybody
I get one.
care what
Google
you
it.
think? This
Yes.
is my show. This is my quiz. I dish out the points. Euan McTurk gets 3.
Googled it.
Sarah had already got 2. Don't care if you Googled it. Well done.
What
That's
about me? Can I have a point?
No, why would you get a point? Oh, no, he said
No.
Tesla.
Tesla,
He said
Tesla.
Tesla.
I've slid you in a point. Okay, right. So next up, what's the highest kilowatt output charger you can have on a standard domestic single phase electricity supply in the UK?
Oh, Johnny's
Sarah.
in. Johnny.
JB.
7 kilowatt.
How much?
7 kilowatt.
Is he right, Euan?
No, 7.4.
10.4. Yeah.
7.4 is the
7.4.
correct answer, unless Euan tells me otherwise.
Oh, very. That's embarrassing.
Yes,
Hey,
right.
Oh.
Paul Kirby
Sorry,
has
what was your job before this?
right. This is a technical one. So we go to our technical round now. And this question came in from Mark Stubbs. Thank you, Mark.
Oh,
Okay. On a plug-in hybrid, why do the maximum power and torque figures for the separate engine and electric motor not add up to the combined maximum power and torque figures for the drivetrain?
Great.
Say all that
question.
again in English.
Okay,
Yeah, can you
on a
say it
plug-in
again?
hybrid, why do the maximum power and torque figures for the separate engine and electric motor not add up to the combined maximum power and torque figures for the drivetrain? Sam.
because the two drivetrains work in tandem, so it's not a 1+1. They kind of overlap in terms of their power consumption. So the net result of the total power is not 1+1. They overlap.
I got to say, you're right.
That was beautiful. That was lovely.
That's a bit like a GVW, isn't it? When you're comparing front axle weights and rear axle weights, and actually they don't equal the same as. There we go. See, Mr. Paul Kirby's
Ooh.
agreeing with me on that one.
See, now,
Some comments are saying that's not necessarily the right answer every time.
it's
though.
not every time, but
Don't
in
care. I want the
general,
point.
there are
But it's 66% of the time.
some other applications, some other vehicles do it a slightly different way, but generally speaking, you're right,
I mean,
Sam.
Paul's just on mute. He's just getting ragey because he's on mute.
He's
no,
still
he's
on
still
you.
on mute.
Just ignore
So-
it. it's fine.
Okay, whatever.
I mean, seriously, or best of order, please. Okay, next question. Again from Mark. We all know that the Renault Zoe used to charge at 43 kilowatts, but name a battery electric vehicle that can also charge at 43 kilowatts.
Look,
And that's
Johnny. Welcome,
JB.
Johnny.
BYD.
BYD is correct. It's nice that
Well
you've got,
done.
it's nice that you've now got one mark.
I missed the ball. Come on.
That was geeky.
Hang on.
Okay.
Technically, the question's wrong because it should have said AC.
Oh, please.
That's a good point.
You know what he meant.
Come
Doesn't matter.
on. Okay, I missed out AC because I didn't want to. I thought the technical police would be after me.
Did you miss out? Did you miss out, or did Mark get it wrong? It's important.
Mark
Mark
got it
grid serve.
Mark got it wrong. Right. Okay. So David Bushnell has sent in a question, and he asks, "What will the benefit in kind rates be for EVs in 2025?" Paul,
2%.
2% is the right answer.
Oh, I thought it was going.
And
Okay.
that's a car. Just saying, everybody. I know what a car is as well.
Yeah, but do
Okay.
you know why? Do you know what the actual rates are each of the years, though?
Oh, Lorna.
Well,
Because we went 0, 1, and then we went
0,
2, 2.
1,
They kept
2,
it flat.
2. Yeah.
Two.
I only know it's the car one because that comes first and you have to read through it to get to van.
Okay, I think there might be an advantage to one of our members in this next question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. It's from Keith Woodcock, a great friend of the show, who sent in the following. If I spent £6.24 on electricity at GridServe in Braintree, how much would I spend on coffee and cake?
4 times as much because I did it yesterday.
Lorna, you're excluded because you didn't put your hand up. Paul?
At £9.25.
£9.25 is the right answer. Lorna, how much did you spend?
No, we won't go into that.
All right. And so the final question, and this question comes with 4 marks. And this could make you the winner of the EV Cafe Mastermind Challenge just by getting this one right. Hands in the air. Stand by.
I'm going to mute everybody.
What is the difference between a kilowatt and a kilowatt hour?
Oh.
It was actually Johnny Berry first.
We can't have this one. We canhave this in rehearsal.
You muted
You
us
can't have
and
this
he
one.
wasn't first.
Kilowatt is measure of
You can't have
power.
this one. We already
Kilowatt
did it.
hour is measure of capacity. Measure of storage.
Oh, now come on. Is it capacity
Oh.
or storage? They're different
You can't.
things.
We've already done this one.
Storage.
Ewan.
Can't use this one.
So
It's a rod,
kilowatt
but you
is
can't
do it.
an
We've
done it.
instantaneous unit of power, whereas kilowatt hour is cumulative energy.
So he's wrong then.
Let's use fancy
He
words.
is wrong. And Ewan is correct. Ewan McTurk wins the
Well done, Ewan.
EV Mastermind quiz with 7 points.
Very deserved. Very, very
Thank you
deserved.
very much. I've even just posted a video that explains kilowatt.
Oh.
Goodness me.
Oh.
Sorry, should we change our background to Plug Life Telly?
Yeah.
Go for it.
But what is really shocking is
Like
that
Plug Life Telly.
we did do that question in rehearsals because we do rehearse this nonsense, and still Ewan beat us.
Can I just say we gave the wrong answer then, and you said it was right.
Yeah, we
okay.
did actually give the wrong answer on the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Compared to that.
So
I had
Every
to
day's a
edit-
school
I had
day,
to
and
edit
then
out
you have to-
Sarah's answer because it was so wrong.
I was hoping that you'd do it again.
Sorry, John, just before we go to questions, we're going to live from the studio. Sarah Simon.
Oh, here we go.
It's the only reason Sam came on.
Way!
Oh gosh, that was the quick change. Oh, it's very hot in here. EV Cafe News, 21st of July. As if my nerves weren't shot enough from the masterminding session, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the EV Cafe News with me, Sarah Sloman. It's lunchtime, pay attention. First, we had the news about Nissan Motor Corporation's £1 billion investment in an electric vehicle hub in Sunderland, which will include a gigafactory for car batteries. According to tech publication Silicon, Japanese car maker Nissan has delivered some welcome news for post-Brexit Britain with a new gigafactory, which will make electric vehicle batteries. The Japanese car maker said that the factory will be built in partnership with Chinese battery manufacturer Envision. The car maker said that production in Sunderland will create 909 new jobs at the plant, which is painfully specific, and more than 4,500 jobs in the UK supply chain, while safeguarding a further 75 R&D jobs. Meanwhile, more news when Stellantis, the world's 5th largest car maker, is expected to invest hundreds of millions of pounds in adapting its Ellesmere Port plant to build electric vans. Motor giant Stellantis is said to have guaranteed the future of its Ellesmere Port manufacturing site this month, with confirmation that it will make new electric vans, including passenger versions, from 2022. The announcement will secure around 1,100 jobs at the Cheshire plant, as well as thousands more in the motor industry supply chain. Stellantis said it will manufacture a range of 8 electric vans, from delivery vehicles to their passenger derivatives, from the end of next year as part of a £1 million investment. The government has reportedly contributed £30 million, which should just about cover my news anchor fee. And now the brilliant British Volt has been granted planning approval for an electric car battery gigaplant in the northeast of England. Plans for a battery gigafactory to supply electric vehicle manufacturers has taken a step forward after the scheme was granted planning approval. Northumberland County Council has approved plans by British Volt to set up the massive factory on the former coal yards of the old Blythe Power Station site. So the question remains, Mr. Kirby, Mr. Paul Kirby, EV Essentials, the electric van man, the very one. Does this go far enough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Superb, Sarah.
Done.
Damn, she good.
I'm sure we teed up a much better response than yes. But
did I dazzle with my sequins, which is still halfway down my waist?
Yes, I mean, anyway, moving along.
You're the van market. You understand the van market better than anybody else. And if I hear one more time people saying that they're not going to go EV until there's a 7-seater produced, I feel like perhaps this passenger derivative of the van chassis could be the answer for lots of people looking for their next adventure vehicle or fitting their family life into the EV realm.
Absolutely, Sarah. I would agree with that completely. There are some cracking 7-seaters out there already, and more. Yes, Scott has just said an ENV 200 Avalia. That is a definitely available vehicle currently, but they're not going to be producing for much longer. Of course, you've got the Mercedes EQV if you have a small mortgage available to you, and there are other vehicles available, I'm sure, but it is the most disappointing vehicle ever produced because it's not a van, and it should have been, but there we go.
Excellent. We've actually only got 5 minutes or so left of the show. So, John, should we go back to the mailroom and finish off those questions?
Yeah, can I just say that every time that we plan to do this show, Sarah says, "Shall I do the news?" And the four of us go, "Uh-huh." And she's like, "Oh, but really?" Uh-huh. Most definitely, and I'm sure the chat box will be full of compliments for you, dear. That was marvellous. Right.
Oh, I am glad. I aim to bring the knowledge in the same silly way every time.
You're wonderful. Robin Hughes has asked an interesting question, and we can kind of answer that from our own first-hand knowledge of the ITT Hub. Is converting a second-hand ICE vehicle to 100% EV feasible in terms of cost and engineering integrity? And is it worth even taking a new ICE without the powertrain and converting it to 100% EV? Where do we start with that? Who wants to have a crack at that one? Oh, Paul, go.
Well, I would say there are certain instances where it is definitely a good idea. And we exemplified one at the ITT Hub in the Bug. Yeah, so a 1960s, early 70s Bug, took the engine out of that, put an electric vehicle drivetrain in it, and it brought it back to life. So I think where certainly that kind of thing is happening, that's not a bad shout. I'm seeing upgrades to older electric vehicles, putting newer batteries in them, which I think is also a good idea. I'm not sure that taking, when we think of all the, particularly the electric vans where it is happening, so vehicles are being built on the line at the moment, they're getting to the end of the line without an engine and we're sticking a battery in them. I'm not sure they're always the best solution. It seems to be halfway house and doesn't really answer the industry questions and isn't a solution to the problems. Therefore, I would always tend to go for ground up built would be best. But, you know, if not, then just the vehicle but built on the line and done from scratch would be my view.
Can we ask Euan, because having seen some of the Plug Live stuff, I know that the calculations to celebrate EV actually include the chassis, but if you're reusing the chassis, surely these numbers only get better. Absolutely,
yeah. You've just chopped about 10 tons of CO2 off of the embodied carbon of a typical vehicle by retrofitting it to electric. it definitely makes sense, particularly with classic cars or very specific vehicles that are worth the investment. Like, for example, Land Rover Defenders. There's actually not really many feasible alternatives to the Land Rover Defender on the market at the moment, including the old school, the new Defender versus the old. A lot of people prefer the old as a rugged workhorse. Look at what electric classic cars have done. Their top spec Defender retrofit is admittedly very pricey, but it gives 100 kilowatts of rapid charging capability. It gives 22 kilowatt onboard charging, 100 kilowatt hours battery capacity, and better off-roading capability than the original ICE. So there are already niche examples where this makes sense. In terms of mainstream, taking like a Ford Focus and retrofitting that to electric, the biggest bottleneck is going to be the widespread availability of parts at an affordable rate, because at the moment all the major automotive manufacturers are buying these up en masse at the cheap rates, to the extent that a used battery pack or the modules from that battery pack cost twice what they did to the manufacturer when they were new, because that many people want their hands on them for these sort of projects. Once we get a ready, steady supply for vehicle retrofitters to be able to do these things, we'll start to see this becoming an economically feasible option for the average family car, let alone your cherished classic car or your rugged farm workhorse.
I think Euan makes a great point. We chatting to Matt Cleavely at and I've forgotten the name of his business.
Cleavely Commercials.
Yes, of course it is. Of course. Sorry, Matt. Yeah, I mean, you might see this on a video, but I do know what you do.
I'm definitely going to share it with him now.
But he definitely has a real challenge to get parts and materials to upgrade the vehicles that he's dealing with. So you're absolutely right. It's the bottleneck or the demand from the main manufacturers, and obviously they've got the money and the power and the sway. Then they're sucking it up, and the little guys that want to do these sorts of projects, not going to get it.
Yeah, actually, speaking of Cleavely EV, I believe going back to that Nissan Leaf that's available on Autotrader for $3,500, if anyone fancies being shrewd with their investment, they could buy that and then either retrofit the battery pack to the higher capacity 40 kilowatt hour one, or buy a Muxan range extending battery that goes in the boot. It doesn't take up that much space. And that could actually give you a longish range electric vehicle for potentially under 10 grand. Oh no, actually including the purchase price, just over 10 grand, but still a good half of the price of a modern longish range electric car. So that's quite a financially savvy way to get behind the wheel of a decent range electric vehicle. Side topic, but Cleavely do those retrofits, which is why I thought I'd mention.
Right, that's all we have time for today. So, do we want to give the announce the winner of the mug, John?
Yes. Whose was the most challenging question? Who will receive a mug? Who tripped us up the most?
Well, I actually think. Let me just check my facts, because I think that actually it should be
me. Oh,
Already got a mug.
Paul Barnfather.
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
Paul.
You're the winner.
Paul's
Definitely.
question was around kilowatt hour, and it stumped all of us twice. The only one who was able to get it was the brain on legs, Dr. Euan McTurk. So I think Paul's question easily the winner.
It was a googly.
So at least my namesake won something.
Just before you go, if you can take a look at this poll on what other elements of the EV Cafe would you like to see in the future. And until next time, subscribe to our YouTube channel, join our LinkedIn page, register for future events. And if you'd like to support us, then please visit our Patreon page, which you'll find the link on our LinkedIn page. And I think that's it.
Yeah, I think it's a typo in there, Johnny. You put less nonsense as one of the options. I think you meant more nonsense, didn't you?
Well, we'll see you at the same time next time in August.
Good stuff. Can I go back to the beach now?
Yes, you can.
I can take my
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye now.